After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War. Now, in the year 1973, the world still lies in the heart of this frigid period. The West and East engage in proxy wars to assert dominance, while spies and agents engage in shadowy dealings. And, with the threat of nuclear war, the world always feels close to doomsday. It's as if the whole world is holding their breath, waiting for someone to make the first wrong move.
Hello, it's me, it's Anthony. You're the audience. This is Darnell.
Hi.
And everyone else is here. Jack, Stigma,
Hi.
Dune, and welcome back to Havoc Moon, in good trouble.
Oh my god. That's the second time he's done that today.
Sorry, I played the wrong audio clip.
Okay, so can you do a quick recap, Dan?
Absolutely. So last time, in order to discover the exact location of Blackhurst Asylum, which apparently has some sort of secrets about the Better Angels, you went to the hospital to interrogate Boris, an old retired KGB spy master, and you discovered its location in Siberia. And as that, the guards were coming for you as we closed out last session, but I will give you a choice. Do you want to fight these guards, or should we skip ahead to you being at the base again?
Honestly, they're just like jobber guards, right?
Basically, yeah.
Whatever.
Let's just go back to
just skip the action. We're like do like the last one being knocked out or whatever. Shot.
We made it.
Where are these guards coming from? They're coming into the hospital?
It's like that
Yeah,
fucking.
downstairs, you're at the top
It's
of the
like
hospital.
in Mystery of the Druids, where they're suddenly being like surrounded by guards, and then it just cuts to them being outside, and Halligan says, "We made it!"
Quick, Vasilii, give us a one-liner.
I refuse.
You're so cool.
It just says that out of nowhere to the ether.
Yeah. And with that, we come back to the train, Antichrist, if you'll recall, the new HQ.
Yeah.
As you're reporting the results to Neil. Well, this is very encouraging. You didn't have any trouble?
Only good trouble.
Nice. We had the same thought.
Very good, that's what we're called. And what happened to this Boris in the end, then?
I think I killed him.
You think?
You did?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, he pulled his life support or something.
Yeah, we pulled his life
that's
support.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I guess he could
And then
theoretically still be alive.
Then I kicked his body onto the floor or something. Who cares?
I won't ask why. You're a professional. I assume you have your reasons.
I hated him.
Oh, well.
You knew him for less than a day.
You knew him for less than 5 minutes.
And in those 5 minutes, he told us that he cloned a fucking Pillar Man, so plenty of reason.
Yes, that's...
Oh, by the way, Pillar Men.
I understand it's subject. I'm familiar from the records, the archives.
Yeah.
All the same. So now that we have the location of Blackhurst Asylum, the obvious next step, I would say, is to infiltrate it and find this information that they've been trying to keep hidden.
Mats is going to step up here and kind of push the group out of the way. So, Neil, you're saying that you knew about this Pillar Man shit?
Don't push me.
I knew that Pillar Men had existed in the past. I didn't know they were related in this case.
I figured they were all stamped out. I mean, there was that one guy in cold storage, but fuck him.
With all
Exactly.
due respect, if we're up against a Pillar Man, how are we supposed to fight that?
None of us are hormone users.
Oh, I have a brilliant plan.
Okay.
If this is the Pillar Man, as you say, then we simply have to do as the Greeks once did. We'll
What
have
did the
him
Greeks
hold
do?
up the world, and then they'll be incapacitated.
Brilliant plan. Anyone else?
Well,
I would suggest that Genesis, for the moment, should be avoided in the field. Do not attempt to engage at all if he makes an appearance. No matter what, if he appears, I would say the mission, by default, should be considered lost.
So the gist of this Pillar Man thing that I got is that the Speedwagon Foundation had a sample, and it was lost, I mean, how exactly does that happen, Neil?
We lost it?
Well, there was we in the past we have suffered attacks. I wasn't around during at that time, so it's quite possible that at least maybe part of the sample was stolen during the past.
Oh, god damn it.
I raise my hand and I go, well, while I don't want to take our chances, I don't think it would be impossible for us to defeat Genesis. I mean, he's not a vampire. He wasn't made. He's like the Peelermen are a species, which means, and I look at Regent, you could devolve him into something less indestructible, and then we just have to kill him in that form.
What does a Pillarman even descend from?
Good
That
question.
should be the one to discover it.
But I
Hopefully, it's
can't-
not a T-Rex.
I can't think of an animal that would be stronger than whatever he is. Whatever. His
It's
genetic
like,
descendants.
over the
I'm
course of
not
our
sure.
evolution, we've lost much of our strength, actually.
Yeah, he becomes like just a dinosaur version of himself.
With how Pillarmen are like basically immortal, I'm not even sure how your ability would work with that.
He had to have had. He can't unless he was the first one ever born.
Well, out of character, I've always thought that the Pillarmen had some sort of supernatural like ancestry to them because it just doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Well, their whole thing is they try to do like a Baki and explain it physically. Like they mentioned something about how their like enzymes and DNA can like change at will, and they're like that's how Santana was absorbing people. His body was just turning into all enzymes.
Right. It also seems kind of alien when you think about it.
Yeah, so you could devolve him into like a little gray or something.
Right.
And claiming Pillarmen are, descended from microbes from the original Stand Arrow that crash landed on Earth.
That too. I'm just saying, I agree. Unless we have a better plan, we shouldn't fight him. But I wouldn't go as far as to say all hope's lost as long as we've got you, Regent.
You're
All right,
placing a
hold on.
lot
I
of
got
hope
one
on
idea.
Regent, and I'm not a big fan of that.
But when
got
have I
one
ever
idea.
let you down?
Regent, from what I understand, your stand ability requires physical contact, is that right?
Correct.
Do you believe you could make physical contact with a vampire's vampire for an extended period of time?
I believe I could, although perhaps it would be better as a collaborative effort.
Like
Perhaps
that.
a projection of drivers might help pin him down, while my stand returns him to his origins.
Like that fucking endgame scene of everyone trying to get the glove off of Thanos, but it's like trying to let Driver put his hands on his chest.
Chelsea, I don't know what a Thanos is.
No, I was just
What is a
talking out of
Thanos?
character. Okay.
No, I know it's out of character. It's drafted in character.
So if the Speedwagon Foundation still has that Pillarman sample somewhere deep storage, why don't we try to resurrect the Pillarman to try to have him fight this one?
That would be an awful idea, because if they team up, because, Pillarmen pretty categorically want to dominate us as a species, they could team up and, fuck us over.
Wait, no, Jack, we'll just put a
No,
bomb
let's
collar on,
hear him out.
and then you'll have to do it.
Can't we try to MK Ultra brainwash him or something?
Listen, one person already fucked up experimenting with Pillarmen. I don't think we need to be messing with this.
Maybe it's like a
Good
Rocco's
point.
Basilisk situation where if we resurrect and ingratiate ourselves to the fucking Pillarman, maybe he'll spare us. No, we should not do that. Alright, so let's ignore Genesis for now. Let's consider that a worst case scenario. Do you have a plan in the meantime to work on, like can you research any weaknesses or things we can use while we go off and do all this other shit?
Well, if we can
Pillarmen-
expose them to sunlight or UV light, that'll do some massive damage. Or kill them.
I believe that's the case, though. Yes, that's of course our best method. But
So why don't
the
you
enemy,
get
of
some
course,
UV light stuff?
we have UV lights. The issue is our enemy knows this as well, so they're not going to put themselves in situations where we can do that easily.
Right.
Out of
but-
character, what do you think would happen if Stigma ate the Pillarman sample?
I think something beautiful would happen.
I think we would get what we call a non-standard game over.
Yeah, I think what would
I
happen...
believe.
Vasilei's
I believe.
dying.
I am open to the idea of consuming the Pillar Man.
Everyone would think he'd
becoming
turn
a
into a
higher
Pillar
life
Man,
form.
but the like unexposed sample would just start growing inside him, and then the Pillar Man would erupt from within him, and he
Right.
would be a pile
Yeah,
of blood.
that was literally what I was implying, Darnell. Yeah.
Like the fucking old Ant-Man technique.
Just like
Although,
fucking
to be
Two-Face
fair,
with the face of Sans
in
out of the other half of the
theory,
building.
we could use the Pillarman sample like that as like a one-time instant kill pill on someone.
Yeah, and then we'd have to kill the
True.
Pillar Man.
It's like using Scroll of Summon Tarask.
Well, if we do it to
Listen,
Genesis,
I'm gonna
then we
lay
only
it
have
out.
to deal with
I'm gonna lay it out on the
Santana.
table. Any situation in which we have to use the Pillar Man is one we should avoid at all costs.
I did have one idea, but it's very silly and expensive, and I need to understand setting-wise before I suggest it in character. What exactly is the resource/funding scope of Good Trouble? Because I know SWF has a fuckload of money, but only so much of it goes to Good Trouble, I assume.
Yeah.
So, like, what is their funding before I have
It's
chosen?
pretty stupendous, but it's not unlimited. As, for example, the Speedwagon Foundation, you can just do whatever they want.
They did
blow a lot on that train.
I did have one idea for an experimental weapon.
Okay.
But I think, Chelsea says, I think it's probably too silly to work. But,
Chelsea,
yeah.
we're on a talking train named Antichrist.
Well, I know that there's been this idea before of, like, an orbital laser, right? But instead of that, what if you could make a satellite that absorbed sunlight, like it had solar panels, rays, whatever, and then could just drop it from anywhere, like orbiting around the Earth?
Isn't that just a mirror in outer space?
Basically, but like storing the sunlight. Could you do that?
It's an interesting idea.
Like a
I don't know whether we
concentrated, like
could-
it would be like a telescope where there's like all these concentrated layers of lenses that like rotate and then just fire a particular fuck you sun concentrated power of the sunbeam at a spot.
It is an intriguing idea. Well, I don't know if we're in a state to launch a satellite of our own at short notice, and as well as constructed, of course. I can definitely speak to some contacts I have in the aeronautics industry, see if we can maybe piggyback off one of their projects.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not exactly a short-term solution, but if we're going to deal with these guys in the long run over the next few years, and with vampires in general, I thought something like that could be helpful. And I mean, what are they going to do? How are they going to get to space and take it down? Vampires can't survive in space.
Of course not, that'd be ridiculous.
Surely not.
Well, it's an intriguing idea. As I said, I'll speak to my contacts in the aeronautics industry, see what we can put together there.
Perfect.
Oh wait, before you go, Neil, that reminds me.
This is my office. I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Oh yes, the train. Has my package arrived?
A package.
You know the cat. I thought we spoke of this before. But I've discovered a new use for my ability, and so I requested I get some capsules for on-the-mission consumption.
Oh yes, Kay was talking about this earlier. So the sort of it's funny we're talking about salads. This is the sort of thing they eat in space, you know, from what I understand. Well, yes, it's waiting for you in the cargo compartment.
Oh yes, the food of cosmonauts. I thank you, Director.
No problem. But yes, if that's all in hand, I would say the obvious next step is to go to this Black Curse Asylum now that we have its location. If this was where Genesis was created, then perhaps some clue to another weakness exists there, something we can exploit, or at least more information we can use.
I wish I could copy the effects of Hamon, but energy is a bit... Or, well, I can't exactly copy the energy effects of that, like, one Hamon guy.
Do you guys
Only,
have...
like, you know, the physical impact of it.
Do you
The
have...
energy of life itself, it makes sense. It's a little more tricky, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you have
Are
any...
there no Hamon users we might recruit temporarily?
Well, I have some old
Left in this
contacts. I'll see who I can pull back in from the olden days.
Do you...
What are you saying, Chelsea?
I was going to say, do you have any UV equipment we can take? Not that I think it would help in a fight, but if it's a deterrent to them approaching us. Because they have another vampire.
I could try to hook it up to Proto-Men and use it as, like, a UV light for instead of my usual lights.
That would be perfect.
Well, yes. Of course, Kay has made some sorts of equipment in the past. I can get that passed over for you.
Perfect.
It's like modding my stand like a fucking gun.
Cyborg stand.
Armored core, Brotomen.
That's basically what Proto Man is, though.
So, yes, if you are agreeable with this mission, I can have Sergeant Toe get you over to the location that's the coordinates we've been given here. Well, you'll be entering using his stand, of course, on the outskirts, and then, much as we did with the winter box, once you've got what you need, you can fire up a flare, and we'll have a helicopter pick you up.
Yep.
Works for me.
Is there any other preparations or any other concerns you may have?
None that I can think of.
I think we're all right.
How about you, Bats? You've been a little bit quiet.
I'm just thinking of ways I could maybe modify my outfit.
Turn the sun into a ball and let's bring it with us.
I think Bats is going to pull Neil off aside and whisper in his ear about a really contrived idea for a remember like the UV gear that they had in part 2?
Yeah, like the shoulder things.
Yeah, an idea to modify like a business suit, like the interior jacket into like, you know, tons of different flashing lights and shit that he could just flicker on and off, you know, open his jacket like that.
I will say, if you do that with UV light, that would also probably give you cancer.
That seems
Well,
like
it's on Neil whether or not he wants to go through with this stupid
I
idea.
can I can ask Kay to look into it for you.
Perfect.
As I said, we're in a talking train called Antichrist, so I'm not in a position to call anyone's idea
It's just
stupid.
like his hair is falling out, his skin is pale, not just all the time.
I might have cancer, but at least we're gonna beat that Pillar Man.
This coffee is only 99%. Only 90 is only 10% coffee. You understand? The rest is all vodka.
Oh no. All right. Another fun. I just had a stupid idea. This is unrelated to anything going on, but I love the idea that like, what if the Clash had a weakness where it's like the ability doesn't work on like sphere-shaped objects because they're already balls technically.
They're already.
I kind of like that, yeah.
Like the
That'd
enemy
be
like
funny.
curls up into a ball like the fucking Dark Souls, and it's like, now I'm immune to your ability.
That would actually be fun, though.
Like you can't do
And,
anything.
like, it's like when fucking Jolene made herself a Mobius strip.
It's not like the sun is like too hot or like too big to be turned into a ball. It's just already a ball. And that's
It's already
the
a
only
ball.
reason
You
it doesn't work. All right. So, are we ready for Blackhurst?
So my question is, like, if we're up against the Pillar Man and we don't have Ham on, okay? Like, I just reread up on like the different abilities. So just by coming into contact with their skin, they fucking absorb you.
They can by turning their body into all enzymes, basically.
Correct.
Right. Like, we'd be fucked.
It's
Correct. That's correct. That's why Driver's fucking panicking.
Right. I'm just saying, if there's, I'm trying to think of a way we could like replicate the effects.
We know that at the very least, when he shook Driver's hand, he didn't do that. And I know he like made his promise, but like we know that's
Genesis.
he may not
Yeah.
immediately jump to just absorb mode, but any combat with him is incredibly dangerous.
Well, the other thing I remember about that encounter was that he kept his word, and he seemed to like it when we outsmarted him. Like that was like something that he didn't really push back
clearly
on.
he didn't like it that much, nor would I say he kept his word that much, because he did sick his goons on us to kill us.
Right, but he could have just killed us immediately.
I'm just saying, knowing Tan and having met Genesis, he seems like the type to be like, of course I wouldn't absorb you. You'd leave a bad taste in my mouth.
Probably.
All right, so what is this? Do we just time skip to Blackhurst? What we doing?
If you have any preparations, anything else you want to do, please let me know. Otherwise, we can go to the journey.
Other than like having UV lights on us just as a deterrent, I have no other.
I'm doing what I said before and like hooking up UV lights to the headlights of Proto-Men.
Give me 1 sec, and then we can.
Actually, you know what, Tan? Are there any Hamon users within Good Trouble?
There were, but they all died.
Out of character, I would imagine, since like Yuzo was part of the Hamon clan, his grandma or something is probably in good trouble.
I'm back.
You know what it is? I'm sure they're all like dead or gone, but we have to go find like the one guy and pull him out of retirement from the Hamon clan.
Isn't Lisa still technically alive?
Yes,
Yes.
but she's
I
like
know,
super
too.
old as shit. She's like 100 now.
She probably still looks the same, though.
Hamon
She's
aging
got
doesn't
the-
slow down that much. Remember Strizo? Even he was like, I've reached the limits of what I can do with Hamon.
It only
It's
it
Hamon
basically
that's like
halves your
multiple-
age and doubles your lifespan.
Yeah,
So she'd look about 50.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Right,
still look
okay.
good for 50.
So, so we, as you get ready for the mission, Sergeant O arrives on the train. And it's been a while since you've actually seen Sergeant O. He's been doing other stuff for a long time now. Well, this is my good pals. Hey there.
Hey, Sergeant, what's up?
Oh, nothing's doing but going's boing.
What the
Sorry,
fuck
it's
did
been
you
a very
say, me,
stri-
Sergeant O?
Nothing's doing but going's boing, I said.
Can we get that on a t-shirt, chat?
There's no chat here, and my name's Sergeant O. It's been
fuck
very
does that
stressful
mean,
a few
Dan?
months. I've seen a lot of horrors these last couple of months. Give me a fucking break.
I'm sorry, Sergeant O, you're right. It's
Hey,
just...
so-
Yeah.
Sergeant O, how come every time I see you, you seem like a different person?
We made my
Teng keeps
voice.
forgetting his personality.
Yeah, your personality. You're all weird all the time.
I'm a weird guy.
I guess that's true. And
How about you? Don't you like torturing people?
I'm gonna be devastated if this is like a doppelganger of Sergeant O.
It would have to be like 6 different doppelgangers to be fair.
I'm fine with a little torture. Why?
Well, I don't. Well, you can't judge my personality when yours is pitch black.
Hey,
is what I'm
Sergeant O,
saying.
I put a hand
Hi.
on his shoulder. It's okay.
Been a rough couple of months, you know.
I give him a little hair tussle. I go, there, buddy. Come on.
Okay.
Why don't you make a tunnel for us?
Absolutely. Well, I have to be honest. I've never done this on a moving train before, so let's see how this goes. Hey,
Don't fuck it up, okay?
no problem.
He makes the fucking tunnel and it like whizzes past us and one of us gets caught up in it.
We know.
Driver, no!
We know in Havoc Moon that he's made it in moving things, so I do like the idea that like this is where he first gained that experience. It's very sweet.
Well, let's go. I hope I don't break the $1 million train.
Honestly, I hope you do. That would actually make me like you more.
Hey, I'm a living being, okay? And I can
I
hear
actually
you.
like this train.
I have ears on the inside of my body.
What?
What?
Look up.
I look up.
On the ceiling, you can see a metal but very human-looking ear.
Oh, I thought that was Sergeant O saying that. Holy shit!
Yeah, me too. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Antichrist.
Oh.
Sergeant O, get, hurry. I have to
Let's
flee.
go.
I
Totally
just
evidence.
admitted to liking you, Antichrist.
Spare me, Rocco's Basilisk. Alright,
With
let's
that, you all leap into the tunnel, enter the loading screen.
go. Mark.
So here we are. It actually takes quite a while to get there because the tunnel
Man,
does that.
Can you give us a loading screen tip?
The loading screen tip says, when doing Bats' home run minigame, press A when the circle hits the green part to get extra points.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. Continue.
Okay, so it actually takes a little while to get it because the distance does still maintain, and you do actually have to end up having to exit the tunnel once and then enter it again because the fact that the train is still going just made the tunnel continue to stretch on endlessly.
Oh my god.
But eventually you do manage to get there to this sort of frozen wasteland, essentially, and the music stops. 'Cause it doesn't fit anymore.
At least I can like drive us through the tunnel.
I have a question as well, which is, if this train is always moving and can't be stopped, how do we get back on?
Well, it stops briefly.
Oh,
It stops, but it's always on the move, basically, is what it means.
I got
It never, like, stops for the night, for example.
right.
stop to pick us up.
Well, yeah, and it just went again. Is what I mean.
Right.
But yes, you're in this frozen sort of wasteland. Even when you enter the Winter's box, there was like some. This is way more than that. It feels like this is like a perpetual blizzard almost. It's hard to see in front of you as you emerge from the tunnel. The only sort of directions you have is this map you've got of the area, basically, that's been given to you as part of your missing briefing based off the coordinates that Boris gave you.
Right.
And we can just see this spreading tundra all around you, endless white, and just sort of thin forests. And 1 second, I'm about to be interrupted.
1 second has passed. No, I'm kidding. Tan, not Tan. Dune. When did they do that? By the way, was that like when the
Thin
article
forest.
came? Like was that very new?
Thin forest. And on the horizon, just barely through this thick fog, you can see the imposing dark bulk of a series of buildings. Presumably, this is Blackhurst Asylum. You can't see any sort of watchtowers, any searchlights, anything like that. There seems like to be no human presence. It feels like there hasn't been any here for a good while. So yeah, and there you are. You're here.
Could you describe that last part just one more time? Sorry, I got distracted reading the image Dune posted a little bit ago.
Okay.
Not paying attention to the game. I see how
I'm
it is.
trying. There's a lot of things in my face.
So, and in the distance through the fog, you can see the dark hulks of these buildings, series of buildings that presumably make up Blackhurst Asylum. Maybe the arch of a gate a little bit closer than the rest of it. But there's no searchlight, no watchtowers, no real trace of like human presence here. It feels like there hasn't been for quite a while. It feels very much like an abandoned place you're in right now.
I'm gonna tentatively step through the gates, looking around. I'm just gonna take a deep breath and try and sense if there are any corpses within my range.
How does your ability work with skeletons?
What do you mean?
Is it any different than a whole corpse?
No, not at all. Anything that's like
You
dead
can sense
matter.
skeletons in the building.
All right. I put a hand.
It would be very funny that if the corpse should still be intact.
I like hold out an arm for a second to stop people when I go. Just so you know, there's dead bodies in there. So.
Yeah, I figured this place has been abandoned for a while.
Well, yeah, but
Not much of a shocker, but
it
can you
implies
figure out where they are?
that people died inside the asylum that were never like buried or gotten rid of, which means there might be something.
Yeah,
killing
I
people.
figured.
Okay.
I mean,
Chelsea.
again,
Yeah.
How deep does it go? Is what I'm concerned about. Because if you remember, Boris said that this is in a regular building.
Right. I can only sense corpses within hang on, let me check my range. I think it's 15 meters or something. Yeah, 15 meters of where I'm at. So in order to see more, we'll have to keep moving.
Does it go down?
Does it, Tan? Can I sense corpses?
It's like I'd say it's like a sphere around you there. Yeah, so you on the edge, like behind you, almost like outside the gates, like in the back part of this asylum sort of yard, you can see a significant mass of like dead matter beneath the ground.
Right. There's definitely a cemetery, but there's also things inside the buildings. So some are still up in the buildings, some are buried. A lot for me to work with, but I'm just saying, if there are dead bodies in buildings, be careful, because I don't know if I can't sense the living, so someone might still be around.
Oh, I'd bet money that there's somebody still around.
maybe.
Because otherwise, why wouldn't, if they didn't want anyone to know, why wouldn't they just, Better Angels just, like, destroy this place? So my thinking is there must be some sort of guardian here.
Well, destroying it would draw a lot of attention. It might be better to just abandon it and hope no one finds it, especially if, a Pillar Man breaks out of it.
Wait, didn't we hear mention that people searched it but never found anything? Tan?
But whenever anyone looks for it, Better Angel seems to like find out and fucking kill them.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so it seems like it would draw less attention to just leave it be.
I thought Boris mentioned that some intelligence agency had been searching it routinely and they couldn't find anything.
Yeah, exactly.
The KGB had been here routinely.
So-
it's from what he said. From
So
his
what I'm
knowledge.
thinking is, because if it's just information like documents, then Better Angels would just destroy that. So I'm thinking it's something hidden that even Better Angels can't find.
It could be the building itself too, because he mentioned that the building's probably a stand. So
True.
For now, all I meant to say was let's tread lightly here as we go inside.
right.
Let's not split up. Let's all stay as a group of 4 for once.
Don't we always tread lightly?
No.
Looks at Vasilii.
No.
What are you looking at me for, Chelsea?
When's the last time you've treaded lightly in your entire life?
I'll have you know, I was a Stasi spy for many months when we first met.
Were you?
Do you not recall our first meeting, Chelsea?
No, that was
I'm
years
hurt.
ago.
East Germany, Berlin.
Oh, and then I think like she had blocked it out in her head because of
You remember the face?
Yeah, and then the horrors are written on her face. Unlocked trauma. So let's just keep going. I don't want to think about that anymore.
This pops up into your this pops up into your mind, Chelsea.
Oh no. That's the face.
Yeah.
Horrifying. That's gonna be in my dreams for years to come now.
Good.
Let's go inside. So you mentioned it's a gaggle of buildings. Which one kind of is the most distinctive, or are they all sort of like barren and similar?
Well, they're all sort of connected. It's a complex more than anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's just go to the nearest entrance then. Start exploring.
Okay, so the nearest entrance from the gate appears to be sort of the main entrance. And again, it's sort of like the rest of it, it's like a hollowed out building, the skeleton of a building almost. All the window is long since smashed open, just left open to the elements. The doors, one is sort of gone, one is hanging off its hinge very precariously. And inside, it's all snow swept. It's all just sort of ruined, basically. This never was a nice looking place, you can tell, but it's disastrous now. And it's just this sort of foyer, this sort of reception, basically. The desks smashed open, wood scattered everywhere. You can see traces of blood splattered across one of the walls, long since dried and blackened. And just sort of hallways leading up onwards, stairways leading up into the second floor. And one of these skeletons, basically, that you noticed earlier, Chelsea's in this room, sort of slumped over on the floor, its hand outstretched towards the door you're entering from.
I will manipulate it so that like the little shards of bone are all up in my suit for later, but I definitely take note that it seemed to be trying to escape from something based on how you described it. And what... Is there any hair on the skeleton? Or is
There's a few traces of remaining hair.
What I kind of want to do here, if you would allow it, is sort of send a bunch of bone shards around us, and then like tie lengths of hair between them, and basically set up like if something moves through them, it would like make sound, like the bones would go falling off the walls.
Creating like fucking Avdol's thing.
Yeah.
If it sense anything.
Yeah, just to make sure, like, if something starts moving behind us, you know, that we can, like, be aware of it.
That's a good idea.
If you would allow that. I know that's kind of
Absolutely. I like it. Like it. How you can, like, keep it moving around you is what I'm questioning.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just doing it at, like, the entrance.
Okay, just like...
Yeah, I'm not like, keeping it following us the whole time we travel, but, like, if something comes in after us, basically. And then, because I know Better Angels kills people who investigate. And then let's schmoove.
Okay. Yeah, so you managed to set up that sort of tripwire, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, basically just an alarm system.
So yeah, where exactly are you moving? What direction are you looking for here?
I imagine, when you say complex, what I imagine, right, is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it's like one long horizontal line of building, and then two vertical lines coming off it, kind of like half a rectangle, sort of.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
So I imagine we're in the long horizontal line. So I would assume just door by door, like opening, seeing what's in it, looking for signs like office or dormitory or like medical, like infirmary and shit like that, and like looking specifically for rooms of note that may contain information. That would be what I would do at first anyway, like on our first sweep through.
Right. Okay. So yeah, as you say, this main part that once you're opening and checking doors, this does seem to be some sort of office. You can see like signs that there was the original sort of office here where they're actually keeping records, and these are like a lot of the skeletons seem to be from that original sort of establishment. But then you also see slightly fresher corpses, and it seems these were from people who came in later to like look through this stuff, and you can see that, for example, 2 corpses of what seem to be officers in KGB uniforms slumped over a desk, their faces contorted in some indescribable terror, their hands like frozen, clutching their chests. And when I say frozen, I mean there's like ice covering them, and their eyes are like frosted over. And there's one hand is clutching the heart on one of them, and one's like clutching this scrap of paper, like one of the documents that he was presumably looking through.
What does the paper say?
Well, yeah, if I see what the paper says, it seems to be some sort of mission statement for the organisation that ran this place, and I will send it over to you, Dune. Give me 1 moment.
Also, if I'm able to, Tan, once he has the paper, I'll make similar alarms with these corpses like behind us now, and like kind of follow that pattern to keep up around us.
No problem.
Cool. What's it say, Bats?
Here, I'll send it to you too.
You
Young
can pass
me.
it over.
You could just post it in general so all of us can read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I'm taking a screenshot of it right
Shaking
now.
my tan honey.
Well, it's just like in case maybe someone didn't want to share the information. That's why I do it that way.
Didn't want to see it. Here, take a look.
Our mission. Our organization has existed for more than 300 years.
Oh, God damn it.
Fuck me!
God damn it.
Oh, no! Operating under various names. The Black Cabinet, the Great Endeavor, the Century Turners. But no matter our identity, our mission has always remained the same. To unite and advance the cause of humanity. In the new world we shall produce, under the invisible flag we shall fly. Humanity shall have no reason to fear mystery. We shall eradicate the unknown and burn the shadows away under the eye of Providence. War and conflict shall become mere theater as we lead the wayward children down the path to true peace. In perpetuity, in joyfulness, in totality. For
I
reference,
think Billy sees these words and he says aloud, You mean to tell us, after all this time, our foe is a Masonic lodge?
For reference, Dune, if you just because I feel bad since you weren't there, in part 2 of our JoJo campaign, before we started recording them, back in the 1700s, our main enemy was the Black Cabinet, and they were sort of like this kind of occult like organization that did fuck shit. They're like you don't fuck with those
They
guys.
basically just wanted to control humanity.
Pretty much.
Okay, I figured there was some sort of reference. When
There's
you were
really
chatting
not much
about
more
that.
to explain than that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no,
was
I get the-
totality the name of one of their stands or something, Tan? Because that seems to ring a bell for me. But
Boris mentioned that the name of the organisation he was part of was Totality, but apparently they're not around anymore from what he said.
Oh, fuck. So they're probably, whether it's Better Angels or another group, they're probably just
I will
the
say, they've
continuation.
gotten fucking sloppy if they're carrying these around on them now. They
I'm
were a
thinking
lot
the
better at hiding their existence back in the 1700s.
Maybe this guy just figured out what he got himself into, and they handed him a little explanatory flyer on his way in.
This is what I'm thinking here, looking at this, because the guy mentioned, what's his face was like, oh, I used to be in Totality, that was them, and we know Better Angels don't want people to go here because of their history. So I think the implication is Better Angels is the last remnants of the Black Cabinet, aka Totality.
Probably,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Especially because their goals kind of seem in line.
Yeah, it's the exact same goal.
This is so hard because I want to do something like cool and heavy, but I don't think Chelsea would know what the Black Cabinet is, would she?
She had no reason to, no.
No, yeah.
Bats is gonna take this and
I'll say
wrap
out
it
of
up.
character that fucking Starbuck is a fucking failure because he wanted to stamp these guys out and he evidently did not.
They have Starbucks corpse hung up like a fucking like what's those like when you mount a fish at a lodge? They
Yeah,
just
like
have
Oh
a
that
god,
front
that's
door.
bleak.
Yeah,
Oh
that'd
my
be a
god.
big corpse.
What do we think the arch is built out of? No.
He's hung like the fucking whale in the Natural History Museum.
And
No.
clearly he just, trapped in, the last continent in
If we find
Antarctica.
like
It's-
a taxidermied Starbuck, I might actually cry. That would fuck me up.
I feel like Tan should ask me for permission before doing that.
Yeah. If I were to do anything like that, that would not be on my own sort of initiative.
You're a kinder DM than me. 300 years past in setting.
It's
I'm
like
dead.
300 years past. That's my NPC now.
Yeah, the thing is, I was saying he probably should have asked. If he was going to do that, he would ask my permission for it because I might have my own ideas for what Starbuck is doing.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
If
so
Starbuck
that's-
wasn't immortal, that would be a different question. But
So after reading that statement, I look to Driver and I go, Driver, you always seem to know about shit I've never heard of. What the hell is the Black Cabinet?
Tan, do I know?
You might know. You've always been a little bit more studied in like the history of like things.
I've been the
the
exposition guy for this entire campaign.
You might know a
I
little
think.
bit. You wouldn't. You don't know the whole story, but you might know the gist of it.
I remember these names coming up in a few different case files. About 200 years ago, they were involved in the Lemuria incident. But other than that, I don't know any major details.
I see. Do you think the Better Angels are related to them in this totality? I mean, totality
Probably.
was space mentioned, right?
The Better Angels did mention wanting to control the world or something, right? At the very least, it's probably descended from this group.
We should
Yeah,
keep
I don't
looking
think that's
around.
too. Yeah, I don't think that's too hard of a trajectory to point to. And Bats is going to fold up the paper and set it aside. But also, why would they leave these things just sitting around for us? You know?
Well, this
Let's
is a
see
group
more-
that's been this is a group that's been hiding its existence for longer than we've been aware of them, to say the least.
Right, and they
So-
have a little paper with a paragraph.
Yeah,
or two on
it's
who
a
they
little
are.
too convenient. Either they've gotten fucking sloppy, or
Well, remember,
they wanted us to
this
find
guy,
us.
I think he probably found this elsewhere and then trying to escape was attacked by something, just like that guy we saw reaching for the door.
Right.
Hold on, let me try something. And Bats
I'm
is gonna take
putting-
the paper and he's gonna slightly make a tear on one of the corners.
Nothing happens.
Okay, I'm not gonna try anything. We could keep going now.
I will say that the deeper we dig, seeing all these bodies only reinforces my belief that I think something big is coming.
Yeah, I'm putting money on the Pillar Man breaking out and killing all these people, but maybe.
Maybe the reason they haven't destroyed this all is like sentimentality, if they're from this group.
Well, again, the reason I think the reason they didn't destroy this is because, well, destroying something brings a lot of attention, and it would probably just be more subtle to just leave this as one of many abandoned asylums around the world that
Yes,
people
but then
don't
why
really
not
want to
just torch all the
investigate.
papers like this?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't even know why they would print something like this to give
Tanhoney,
away
the
their
DM,
existence.
sweating for daring to give us information.
It's okay. He could turn it into an enemy stand any second now.
Anyway, let's keep looking. There's got to be more than just this. This isn't enough to do anything with Better Angels. They didn't want people here, so there must be something we can use against them. We just gotta
Yeah,
keep looking.
that I agree on you with.
Tan, are these filing cabinets in this room, like over a cursory glance, what is inside them?
A lot of it seems like facts and figure spreadsheets, basically. More mundane matters, like logistics of actually running this place.
Driver, you want to record this shit?
Yep. Give me a bit. And I start thumbing out through the files and my eyes turn into like little cameras and I start recording everything.
Right. Okay, so as you're doing that, Chelsea, your trap goes off.
Oh shit. I feel it instantly, or rather, I imagine everyone hears it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
so-
can feel like the disturbance in the corpse parts. I go, something's there. Something's behind us.
It's
So-
very slight, almost like you could almost mistake it for a breeze, if not for like the suddenness of it.
Within 15
So,
meters, move now.
What's
Is
behind?
there like
this?
a broken chair leg or a piece of wood for
Absolutely.
Vasilii to grab?
That'd be no problem. Like these guys are sitting on like almost rotted away chairs.
All right.
What's outside of this
He will be
office?
grabbing them then.
Sorry, June, I didn't quite catch that.
I said, what's outside of this office? Like,
Well, the
Architect.
hallway is like on the other side of it. Basically, you can sort of see out into the hallway. Like there's a little booth where like people can come and request paperwork. Basically,
all right. Is there
on the
I'm
other side is a
thinking-
window.
Is there like a wide open space, kind of like I'm thinking in a prison where there's like your main hall?
Yes, absolutely. That's sort of, if you go out into the hallway, you can sort of see over that. Basically,
Okay, I think it would be best if we all move to an area where we could fight in instead of a confined hallway.
Yeah, I'm gonna take these papers with me and keep recording them.
I'm gonna go check where the disturbance came from and see if I see anything real fast.
Chelsea, can't you
Are
see
you?
through
Or
your
no? Are you
stand?
okay if I
Mm-mm.
try and do what I had in mind before that?
Okay.
So Vasily will grab onto one of these pieces of rotten wood, and with fade into you, like immediately, ask which direction,
I point in the direction.
and he throws it, and as it's like shooting in the air, it's devolving back into like a full size tree. I'm assuming I'm guessing it won't take out the person, but dramatics.
Didn't we already say you can't do this anymore?
The memory does not exist in my
we'll
mind.
allow it. So as this tree explodes out into the hallway, it of course smashes like through a lot of stuff. You hear the crack of window, crumble of concrete as it blasts through. But then, if you listen carefully, after that sound ceases, you can hear these like quiet footsteps still advancing towards you.
Do they sound like calm footsteps or like the footsteps of someone who's wounded or limping?
They sound like just below staggering, I would say. Like they're not steady.
We need to move. It's still coming. Let's go. Chelsea's gonna start running, but she's gonna try and look and see what this thing is, where it's coming from.
So as you look, you see something come around the corner as you're retreating. It seems like at first it seems like a young girl, like stepping out from the corner. She seems to wear like a patient gown here, but you notice that her eyes are completely blank. Her lips are just moving soundlessly, like she's muttering to herself. And most
Like
prominently,
white
you can
blank
see
or
that
black blank?
white.
Oh no.
And most prominently, you can see that she's translucent. You can barely see, like almost like an optical illusion.
Oh, it's just a ghost.
Ghost! And I start running.
I think like Shaggy, Vasily will follow.
And as she is advancing as well, you do notice that where she's walking, the windows next to her are freezing over.
Oh, that's a lot more concerning.
And we saw the corpses were like frozen over too.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna gather up the records that I can and keep moving.
Bax is going to stay behind a corner, and he's going to try something. He's going to bring out the clash and manipulate a series of balls to look like a person. Create like an outline of balls in kind of a humanoid shape, okay?
Okay.
And he's going to he's going to move that into one of the cells onto the side where this ghost woman is. And while keeping himself hidden, he's going to try to lure her into one of these cells and see if he could fire off a ball to like shut the door maybe and see if like that'll do anything, or because she hasn't moved through any objects.
Well, yeah, absolutely free to try and do this. So you're just sort of like making a little like homunculus sort of human out
Yeah,
of these balls.
I'm making an outline to like distract her.
Golden
and get
brush
her
is
to-
what I'm imagining.
Right, and then once she's in there, the balls will disperse and then try to close the door or something like that in like a trick shot type like maneuver.
So the girl never like visibly starts like paying attention to this thing. She doesn't notice like turn her head or her eyes towards it, but it's like she just automatically follows this like effigy you've created into the cell. Like that's just the direction she was naturally going.
Right. And how do these doors close? These cell doors?
Well, they have like a latch, so basically just like a barred door, essentially, with a lock.
From the outside?
Yeah, of course, the outside, yeah.
Right. Obviously.
Imagine
All
like
right,
a consensual asylum where you lock
Yeah,
yourself
I don't know
into
what
the
No one
inside.
lock it.
So, one of the balls, I'm going to fire it off and try to hit the latch.
Okay. You do that pretty easily. The door swings shut behind her and smashes, and like they like crashes basically. Very loud
Does she
noise.
Any reaction to this?
She doesn't audibly react to it. She still sort of keeps going after the ball human who ate the ball fruit.
Okay, and in this moment, I'm going to have the balls disperse and ricochet off the walls and attempt to trick shot her.
Okay, I will need you to roll a trick shot, and it will be against her dodge here.
Right.
Sorry, by the way, there's been like no music and recording because I usually have it lower, but this one's a quieter track. I didn't realize. I turned it up.
It passes through her harmlessly.
Okay.
And
All
then
right, in this
once the human shape is gone, she doesn't look confused or anything. She just turns around and begins walking towards the door again, like she was going to do that anyway.
Okay, I'm going to pull my stand back.
Problem. If this is a stand, it's probably automatic.
Does she walk through the door? Or
She walks right through that fucking thing.
Okay, now I'm going to catch up with the rest of the group. Fuck it. This is definitely a stand.
Or a ghost.
Or a
There are
ghost.
ghosts in JoJo.
Are there?
Okay.
Yeah, remember
Yes.
Amy?
That's right. I forgot.
There's
I
also
forgot
the
about
spin-off where like Yoshikage Kira is a ghost.
Yeah.
that. Then there's whatever the fuck happened to Bruno.
Yeah.
And
We don't
the
talk about
the entirety of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe.
Yeah.
Right. There are ghosts in JoJo.
So,
Okay.
as we flee, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to reset up alarms, just move. And are we going back the direction we came, or are we going deeper in, like when we ran?
Deeper.
Are we going deeper? Too?
I'm saying deeper.
Well, it's up to you. Are you going deeper?
I didn't know if we had a choice, like based on the
I
direction
mean,
it came
do we
from.
have a reason to stay?
Presumably, it came the direction that we were in, based on the trap. So I assume we'd go deeper in.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
I got kind of
Probably
confused with the
deeper,
cell.
yeah.
If like the cell was in the hallway or a separate room.
I mean, do we have any reason left to stay? We already found out this is basically like, a place where the better angels were once
Well,
before.
we're still looking for.
We
the
already
reason-
knew that beforehand, Stigma.
Yeah, the thing we're looking for here is we know they're guarding this information for reasons. There must be something we can use against them beyond just
Right.
that.
We haven't found that yet.
But also,
Yeah.
there's a ghost that will freeze us to death. So we have to. Like,
Well, I think
move.
what the right idea to do here is to continually set up that bone trap in the area where we
Yup.
came from, so we'll know when the ghost is trailing us.
Basically, treat it like a horror game, and that's our pursuer enemy. Assuming it
Right.
stops pursuing us at some point if we get far enough away.
Right. So Bats is going to regroup and explain what he just did, and he's going to explain that this is probably either a stand or something that he doesn't really understand.
That thing's a ghost. I can feel it. It's dead. I can feel it with my ability. I can, right, dude?
Daniel?
Can I?
You can't feel it. We're going to be able to see it all now.
I can't feel it with my ability. I lied about that. But it's a ghost. I can tell it in my bones. And I don't want to deal with it.
Chelsea,
Well,
I
a
don't
ghost
think-
wouldn't have a corpse.
Well,
So
what'd you say?
a ghost
Chelsea-
wouldn't have a
Yeah.
corpse, so it would
Right,
make
right.
sense that you couldn't sense it.
Right. I think Chelsea has a specific fear of ghosts, and that's for her own
For like
backstory
fucking
reasons.
with all the corpses.
that.
They're getting
that-
revenge on you for
Yes.
desecrating their graves.
Yeah, basically, well, that, but also tragic backstory reasons. But basically, yeah, with all the shit in her life involving death, she does not like the idea that ghosts exist, and she's terrified right now.
Chelsea, I have bad news for you. Ghosts do in fact exist.
Shut up! I know, I can see one! We need to get out of here!
As you're
I don't
saying
think-
this, I did mention before this
listen.
hallway looks out onto the yard. If you glance down into the yard, you can see that it's full of ghosts.
Oh no!
I fuck this mission. I fucking jump out a window. I'm gone.
The window goes into the yard where the ghosts are.
There's not a window in the other direction.
There isn't now. There's officers.
I'm no
Are
longer
we
caring
tracking
about.
the fucking asylum from Thief 3?
I start breaking from the group, and Chelsea's desperately running to find a way out of this place as a whole.
Oh my god, this is the asylum from Thief 3, isn't it? Where we have to, like, fake our death to escape from it?
Maybe.
Holy shit.
I don't know, but right now, Chelsea's, like, in temporary panic mode. She's just gone.
Bats is gonna send out the Clash to try and trip her and stop her.
Contested roll question.
Chelsea, please
gonna say,
maintain your professionalism.
There are ghosts! There are ghosts!
Jinkies.
We have punch ghosts with us. What's the difference?
The difference is if there's ghosts, I'm in a lot of shit for a lot of reasons.
Look! We don't actually know if they're ghosts or not. We're around stands all the time. This could just be a stand.
It's probably
I've
not
never
a
seen
stand.
any fucking ghosts.
You sure?
Dante's just over here making the situation worse.
You sure
Driver,
there's no such thing as ghosts?
There's no such fucking thing as a ghost.
Dante said there was.
Well, he says a lot of shit that I never, it's unprovable.
Well, now I know what you think of me.
Dante also says vaccines are safe. So, let's...
We learned a little bit about that to say.
Bat's conspiracy theorist.
Oh, you need a healing crystals, Chelsea.
Just cut the fluoride from your diet. You'll be fine.
She'll, like, put a
You
hand
seriously
on the wall.
think planes leave trails like that naturally?
She'll put a hand on the wall and catch her breath for a second. Is the thing still pursuing us?
Not that you can see.
Okay, but we need to... Whatever we're doing here, we need to go soon, okay? Let's try and hurry this up. I don't want to be here anymore.
All right, but we got to get a little bit further into this place.
Yeah, okay. Let's just go then. You lead the way.
So if there was a Pillar Man sort of resurrection project, it wouldn't be done on this floor. I'd imagine it'd be done in some sort of lab.
Well, I imagine it would probably be done somewhere where they could have quick exposure to sunlight in an emergency, so it might be somewhere on the first or upper floors.
Or, unless
Unless they discounted safely entirely and did it in underground, yeah.
Well, that, and I'm also thinking that maybe that wide open courtyard that we came in, I mean, it was snowed out there, but what if it was retractable? Underground, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'd
A
also
glass
like to
ceiling?
remind people that in this system there are rules for ghost characters, which just makes me doubly afraid.
Yeah.
Kelsey, you're speaking to yourself again.
What the? Stop doing that, Stigma. No,
There
I'm not.
are no rules in this world.
It's just
I think we should try to move, like, down.
yeah. Look for
like-
stairs or a basement or something.
Yeah.
Even a boiler room would do.
Okay, well, so you're going to sort of explore and look for some sort of downwards direction here.
Downwards, upwards, either or, honestly.
I want to try one
Okay.
other thing if I can,
Absolutely.
which is we know this ghost freezes stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next time it's around, if we have time, I think we should set something on fire and see if that negates the effects or if it would just snuff out the fire. Because, like, we're in, like, cold Siberia, Russia, whatever, right? So
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah.
it's, like, maybe it's more conceptual than just ghosts. Maybe it has to do with, like, freezing to death, and we can stave it off with heat is my idea.
Imagine if it's like that, what was it, sheer heart attack?
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
use our stands to rub two sticks together and start a fire.
the only reason I think that's because I've been running a D&D game, like, set in, like, a frozen place, and there's, like, basically enemies that are, like, zombies that died in the cold and, like, try to make everything else cold.
Right.
That you can kind of repel with heat, and I'm thinking it might be something similar here. So,
Because Panhoney's been reading your notes.
No, but...
I'm kidding. Don't take it seriously.
Okay. But I mean, like, maybe warmth can counteract this. But we'll do that next time they pop up. Let's just try and look for a way to, like, a lower floor, like Dune said.
Yeah.
Right.
I
so,
think Vasilii has his own approach to finding the underground.
Okay.
He's gonna have his stand, like randomly punch certain parts of the floor and see what gives way. In terms of, oh, this was actually this is not solid ground. He's gonna be devolving it.
Minecraft digging straight down, I see.
Hey, you know, if there's a metal or wooden or even stone floorboard, and it suddenly goes really loose, like, you know, it's something refined, and it's not just, you know, dirt below, I'm sure you'll find
I would
something.
hesitate to start destroying stuff in a building that's fucking ancient, but do
Too
go
late,
ahead.
too late, too late.
But as you're considering the next part of your stuff in Vasilii punches the floor, and it erupts into sort of a devolved state, basically opening a hole in the process. And into the darkness below, you can't quite make out with your bare eyes.
Oh, do go ahead. Lead the way.
Do any of you have a match?
I
I fucking shine the lights from Proto Men.
Oh, okay.
How far down does the light reach in terms of visibility?
So it seems to be some sort of tunnels, basically, going underneath. And then through those tunnels, you can see sort of like a sort of sterile, what was presumably was a sterile white floor now caked in dust. It looks more like a hospital than anything else down there, like in an actual sort of surgical facility.
How
I think-
far of a drop is it?
It's just jumping straight down would be a bit far, but the way this hole is being constructed, there's like some sort of foothold you can use to sort of climb down.
Would we be able to climb back up is my worry, because I don't want to jump down.
It will
and
be
not know the
difficult in a heated situation.
I think
it will
we
be
should
different.
still look for the stairs, because I'd rather know the way back out.
I'm gonna try to send a ball down there.
I could just, like, float down there with Vasili's brother's jetpack.
Yeah, Driver and I could both fly, so I mean, I know we don't want to get
Silly
separated.
could too.
And I guess Chelsea can be carried.
Oh my goodness.
I project like a little umbrella and like float down like a Fortnite character.
I think since, you know, his random punching strategy worked, Vasil's just gonna, like, laugh bitterly and say, huh,
Well,
guess it's like my dad always said. Nothing a good chop can't fix.
There's a way to climb down, he's
What the
already
fuck?
said, so I'm not worried about getting down. My worry is if we just go down the hole without finding the stairs and then we get caught down here and we don't know how to get back up, then we might be in trouble. But if
Then we just have Vasili destroy more of the ceiling
right,
and hope
but
this
how
place
high?
doesn't collapse.
That's why I was asking how high up it was, because like he just punched the floor beneath him. But if it's like a 20-foot drop, then he might not be able to do that down there.
Yeah.
How far of a drop is it, Tan?
It's not far at all. Like, if
I
you
just
jump
think it's-
down, it would hurt your legs.
I just think it's funny to be really callous about this.
All right, let's just go down then. I don't want to make a big thing
Yeah.
of it and hold everything up. I just wanted to, not be dumb.
Okay, well, via your methods, you managed to get down there into this dark sort of hospital facility, basically. This is very different from the top, in that there's no windows at all here. Obviously, it's underground.
Right.
And
Just windows leading to dirt.
everything's caked in this thick layer of dust. No one's been down here in quite a while. And just as upstairs, on the walls, you can see traces of blackened old blood. More prominent down here, perhaps, than elsewhere.
What does corpse sense ping?
You sense some two corpses in a room just beyond, but the corpses feel strange. You can tell from the shapes that they're like lying down on something, some kind of slabs maybe. But the way they're strange, it's hard to describe. It's like you've imagine putting a French fry in some ketchup and eating it and getting mustard instead. It's different from what you'd expect, but not necessarily in a good or bad way, just different.
I point towards the feeling that comes from, and I go, I sense bodies over there, but there's something off about them. I think we should investigate. I don't know how to describe it, but it's off. Like
All right.
the feedback I'm getting. Yeah, okay.
And it didn't feel like the ones in that room up there with the fucked up face.
No, it's
Is
like...
it- Do you think...
I don't know how to
Chelsea, I have a question for you.
Yeah, of course.
You can feel human corpses, yeah, but what about non-human?
Yeah, I can feel animal corpses. Anything that was alive, I can feel when it's dead.
They feel different to you?
Usually, yeah, but this is... Imagine... I don't know how to describe this. Let's say detecting corpses tastes like strawberry. I'm tasting lemon right now. Like, it's a corpse, but something's not right.
Like when you're dipping a French fry in ketchup and you get mustard.
Let's try to avoid using the same metaphor, but yeah, that's exactly
Just
it.
like when they start fighting Dion, they all start using weird metaphors all of a sudden.
Yeah, like why does Dio make a metaphor during his fight with Jotaro about like a student taking an exam? Since when?
I
Was
mean,
that in his life?
Dio was a student. This is a fact.
Yeah, but
But it's weird though because everyone starts doing it. Like you can tell there's a certain point where everyone suddenly starts doing it.
I think Vasilei's not gonna mention the fact, to the others he dips his fries in mayonnaise.
that's not a
Ew.
bad thing to do.
Shut up.
No, mayonnaise is good.
No, it's not.
You have bad taste buds. Grow up.
Before we start an incident, you
I have-
proceed down
I have
the
terrible
hallway.
Yeah.
And if you go into this room, it's sort of like a big chamber here. On these two surgical slabs, like almost mid-autopsy, it looks like you can see two rotting corpses, just sort of like unlike the ones upstairs that were like had their faces frozen in terror. Like, these are people like in very weirdly generic military uniforms, staring up at the ceiling with these completely calm expressions,
What color
Like-
are the uniforms?
sort of like brownish.
Generic indeed.
And on the other side of the room, there's like this glass sort of containment wall, the one which is some sort of cell, but there's nothing in the cell. And the glass window is just sort of covered with blood and like handprints and scratches.
I'd say, Tam, would you say it would be unrealistic for bats after years of turning things into balls and keeping them in storage to have developed a taste to identify certain materials when they're inside of his balls?
I would say if you want, that could be a learning thing.
Yeah. Well, how does that work in this game
You have
again?
to spend learning points.
Do I have any left to spend? I think I spent those early.
Probably not.
I'm afraid I would say you do not have like this analysis sense. Then no,
Okay,
not
because I
can't
was
stand
gonna,
at least.
I was gonna try to turn the
Yeah,
The
you only
clip-
had one learning point and you used it up.
I don't even know what I used it on.
I
I
don't
think
think
it was
we
on that bomb
we were
attack you
fighting-
made.
We were fighting Pol Pot, but I don't remember what the fuck.
Oh,
It
if
was
you're thinking
later
of Popov,
blowing stuff
that might
up.
have been me who used the learning then.
Oh, right, we might have combined. I don't know. Anyways, never mind that. I was gonna try to identify the weird corpses.
So what's going on with the
Vasilii-
corpses, Kentan?
Well, they're just sort of lying on these like mid-autopsy, like their chests opened up on these surgical slabs, but their faces are just very calm, staring up at the ceiling, unlike the ones upstairs who are like very scared.
Can I tell why it feels different? Is it just because they're opened up?
You can't tell. You can't quite put your finger on it.
Can I
And
manipulate?
It's
you
like
them?
the flavor of it. You can manipulate them just fine. Though, yeah.
What about the
I-
texture of like the skin and stuff? Do they look human or do they look more like
The
skin?
skin is very smooth, almost like taxidermied, I would say,
Right.
like in terms of artificially preserved.
Vasilii,
as
you're
you're-
some sort of biologist. Come here and look at these organs.
I don't think those are quite edible.
As you were what?
Vasilii, as you are coming over to the surgical table to have this look at, you do see, like, sticking out from underneath one of the corpses, now that Chelsea gave it a shot at manipulating one, it sort of shifted slightly, and you can see the sort of bloody document sticking out from underneath its hand.
He's gonna reach out and examine them.
Absolutely. So you look it out from this slick, well, not slick anymore, just sort of the crystallized blood to break out of there.
I'm gonna look at it along with him.
Yeah, can you post it
Oh.
in general, Tan?
Well, sure.
Thank you, Tan.
Overseas report number 12.
Do you want to read this one, Stigma?
10th day of the Lion. Month of the Traitor. 4 years since origin. Welcome news from the Chinese branch. The undead foot soldiers we've sent over have apparently performed well in the field. Our comrade there has managed to carve out quite the parcel of land for himself. Bear in mind, can't fully trust the warlord's reports. He's likely to embellish his own accomplishments, but the depths of his enemies speak for themselves. Note that he
Chinese
supports a legion
warlord sounds pretty
controlling the
familiar,
undead.
doesn't it, Vasilii?
He has a dark look on his face. Indeed. Note that he's reported some issues with controlling the undead on short notice. perhaps distanced from her progenitor effects for efficacy. It sends over some cadavers from units that went rampant, so autopsy should hopefully reveal a way to get around it. An
Oh!
old gold fly invisible flag, Totality 9.
Oh, good. So we're standing next to the zombies that were like the go crazy ones. We should probably.
Oh, that's good
pay for
news.
them.
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
this
you
also- doesn't
directly
this also-
counter zombies, so I'm not too worried, Chelsea.
That's true. I could also make them my zombies with my ability.
Unless they're special in some way, I don't know.
That must be why they taste different. They're not really fully dead. Why does it say Totality 9?
It could be a
Isn't
brand.
that just the number of the branch?
Yeah, but I'm thinking maybe what if it's like a member, like some sort of like a. I don't know how to describe this because the fucking SCP Foundation doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know
like
what
like an
you're talking
05, like basically.
Yeah. Right.
I put a hand on Vasili's shoulder and I say, "Hey, are you okay?"
I think he's gonna try and put on a tough face, and but when have I not been okay, Chelsea? You're the one who's always screwing up.
What the
lashing out.
fuck?
Okay.
Let him
asshole.
cook. Let him cook.
No, Dante was saying that in
Oh, right.
character.
I thought he was just outraged.
What
And
the
then
fuck?
Vasilei's gonna try despise words. Vasili's, you can tell he's trying to he's not. Oh goddamn! What's the word again? When you're like trying to distract from your own issues by like putting
Pointing
emphasis
out
on
Projecting.
someone else.
Ignoring
What's it called
pointing
again?
out the splinter in someone's eye while ignoring the log in your eye
It's-
or whatever.
Projecting, you mean?
Yeah, he's not projecting at all.
Chelsea's gonna be like, all right, you just found out your dad had a zombie army, so you get one. But if you say some shit like that to me again, I'm gonna hit you.
I'm tempted to hit you regardless. What the fuck?
Is Chelsea saying that in character?
Yeah, she
or-
says that to
Yeah.
him straight up. She's like,
I
we're
think
friends, I
that's-
know you're hurting, but like, fucking respect.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll keep it in.
So whoever Totality and Better Angels were connected with your family. Maybe, do you think your dad or your brothers would know something about them then?
If it's who I think if you're talking about who I think they are, my father would, but he's long gone from this world.
It could have also been one of your father's rivals, if we want to be optimistic. He was a warlord. I assume there were other ones he was going against.
That's why I like you sometimes, Driver. Well, I wouldn't say you're really an optimist in general, but just this once.
What
I
do you mean
appreciate that.
sometimes?
Ignore the words I say. Unless they're good. Unless I don't want you to.
Right.
How the f-
Well,
How would we navigate that?
Oh, look. He's losing it he's losing it a bit right now.
all
Not
I'm
enough
saying is that we
being all
don't have.
together.
All I'm saying is that while because of how fate works in funny ways, it probably is his father, but we don't have definitive proof of anything quite yet.
It mentioned.
So while they were discussing this, Bats has been looking into that glass room on the other side. Is there anything there, like aside from the stains on the windows?
It's completely empty. It's completely white in there, very sterile.
Right. What about the files, like along like the sides? Are there any like filing cabinets, documents, things like that?
Well, there seems to be some sheets, like documents. Basically, there's many sets of like multiple photographs. Some of like corpses, like strewn around or brought in, and then what you can tell, pictures of those same corpses standing and walking around in this glass cell.
Is there anything on the progenitor?
On what? Sorry.
Because it
Oh,
mentions
no,
of their progenitor.
Yeah.
No specific information on that. No.
It's
Then-
probably
No,
that
not even a
one.
mention?
It's probably that one vampire guy is part of the Better Angels.
Yeah, because vampires can make spawn. Remember, they in part one, Dio makes like those fuck off like little. zombie guys. That's probably exactly
right.
what these are.
Pillarmen can also create them, as we know from part 2. So
So these guys must have ran out of blood or something during autopsy, or they were just like fully killed.
Probably.
Do they have any blood left in them, Tan? They're preserved corpses?
Well, it's all dried and congealed blood, but there is the matter.
Because what I'm thinking is, and I wouldn't use it on any of us, but if we have like,
Hey,
if we-
hate to interrupt you, but the cold girl's coming.
wait, how do you know?
Feel the air around us.
Wait, what?
You put your hand out, you can feel like the temperature has noticeably dropped.
Oh,
Is it like Sub-Zero? Can they see their breaths?
When you breathe, Vasilii, you can see your breath.
Do we have like vials and stuff on us, like because we came in here to like search for shit?
I would certainly say it's possible.
I want to try and scrape some of the blood into a vial, cork it, and then get the fuck out of here as quickly as possible.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. And as you're doing that, like from the dark more of the hallway you came from, you can see the little girl ghost sort of staggering towards you still, like staring intently.
Yeah, I run in the opposite direction of her.
And that's a different expression from her previous staring?
No, just the same as stare, like just drilling into you,
Okay.
basically.
Actually, hold on. I quickly try to light a match, and is there something I can set on fire?
There's papers and there's photographs, I suppose.
I think Vasilii stands his ground for once. He says, "You got a name, kid?"
She does not respond. She makes a movement that could be a shake of the head, but it could also be her head just bobbing back and forth as she walks.
Guess they cut out your voice too. Is it so? What's going on while he was attempting to buy time?
I'm trying to set something on fire and see if it's like repelled at all, or if the effects of the cold are repelled at all by fire, or if the fire just gets snuffed out. Like when I light my match, does the area around the match stay warm, or is it just as cold, or does it go out or something?
It stays warm.
Okay. Maybe if we carry some kind of fire with us, we'll be all right. Does anyone have something we can use as a torch?
Well, Bats is gonna take a few of the documents that he knows are trash and kind of like newspaper wrap them around a like a chair leg or something like that, like a makeshift.
Let's do that. Can I light that torch, Tan? What is it? Does that seem to help at all?
It helps immediately from what you can see. As you light it, the girl suddenly stops, and for the first time, it looks around as if she's lost sight of you. Just sort of turning her head back and forth, like scanning the room.
He creates a blind spot, huh?
Oh, guys. I can't believe that worked. Well, what do we do now? She can't see us. Should we try something?
Bats is gonna slowly move like behind her and walk out of the way, like holding the torch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll
Dante also just gonna try and slip by her.
Yeah, it's probably best not to engage.
Same.
So yeah, that's as you go past her, she just simply walks past you. She's lost interest now that she can't see you, it seems.
Does it seem like we got all like the relevant documents and it's only like random newspaper trash left, or
in this room? I would say I couldn't say.
Might be. I think there's still plenty more in this whole building, but we need to find some direction.
In the room.
I want to do something. So, Bats, you're the one who walked past her first here.
Yes.
Give me a second. What? Can you roll me reason and pluck for focus here?
Okay.
I need you to get a 1 here, basically.
Don't fail.
All right, so this is only 6, so I don't have my typical odds, but
only a I don't calculate chances, but you still got pretty good shit. Yeah, you did it. Okay, so as the girl walks past you, you're the one who sees this because you're the one who first stepped out of the way. Her hair, she has this long sort of pale hair. It does sort of swing out the way slightly. You can see on her temple this tiny stubby horn before her hair flaps back and she continues walking.
On one temple?
Like the side that you're looking at, you can't tell whether there's one on the other side.
Okay.
She's a Diclonius.
I think I'm going to try and get closer while still holding the torch out. and I'm gonna try to turn her into a ball.
So, by physical contact to do that,
What's that?
you're gonna like touch her to do that, or
Well, I
Haven't-
mean, yeah.
the
you're
last
right. I
time you
mean,
tried to hit her, you went right through her. So I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
sure I could
probably-
recommend this.
that probably won't work. But does the horn look different? Like, does it look more physical?
no, it's part of her body.
I think he's
ghost body.
implying that this is not a normal child. She's like of
Yeah,
something, like an alien.
I
or
got
some
that.
shit.
All right, that's fine. I won't. There's nothing I can do.
I'm sticking close to bats as we go past because I don't want to be outside the radius of the blind spot.
Right. Okay, and as you continue going up the, are you just continuing on your way through these hallways, or?
It might be
You know,
easier. Sorry. Go ahead.
While I'm still within range, I am gonna try something though. I'm going to turn some of the flame from the torch into a ball and try to like bring it towards her and like blow it up while it's near her. Like try to maybe combust her from the inside.
You're taking a lot of risks with us right now.
Well, you guys don't. You guys can move. I'm going to try this.
I'm actually curious if your powers can turn fire into a ball or not.
Well, they've turned air
Well,
into
fire.
turned air.
Well, the thing is,
words.
fire isn't matter.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
like-
chemical reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Air
But
is
I've also-
matter.
I've also turned like literal like sound into balls before.
You have.
That's fair. That's
I did, when
I'll
in
allow
the-
it because there's a long and storied tradition of the fireball.
The session, specifically the session with the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, go for it. Then, I
Okay,
guess.
so you're gonna throw a fireball at her, basically.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need you to roll strike.
Is that body and wit?
That strike is power and precision.
Not even close. Okay. Oh.
1, 2.
1, 2.
So, the fireball sails right through her body. Like, it passes through her, but she does look startled. She like stops her walking, and as it explodes on the ground before her, she turns, puts her hand on her ears, and runs away, silently screaming down the hallway.
Well, now I just feel bad.
Yeah, way to bully a dead child.
Sorry. I just had to try it.
I'm kidding. Don't feel bad. You were just trying to help us.
I don't
Anyone
know.
would have done
I
the
just tried to
same.
kill the little girl. It's fine.
I would also have exorcised the ghost if I knew how. I gotta say,
Alright,
though,
I
like,
think-
looking at her when she's not coming after us menacingly, I do kind of feel sad. She's just a kid. She seems scared by the fire. I don't know. Let's just keep looking.
There's nothing we can do for her, so it's better
She's
just
still
not
a
think
ghost,
about it.
Chelsea. Remember that.
That's true. Tan, I'm thinking what might be easier rather than just, like, going in random
Oh,
rooms
so now you believe me that she's a ghost.
is...
No, not at all.
You're
What-
an idiot.
What I'm saying... What I'm saying might be easier is, like, do these rooms have, like, plaques outside them, like, morgue, etc.? Like, if you could give us the names of some of these rooms as we walk past them, we might know where we...
Yeah, so my audio keeps cutting out. I'm not sure what's going on.
Me neither.
Oh, it's cut out completely now. Hold on.
I don't know, I can hear you.
I mean, Dune turned his cables into a ball.
Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on. I'm gonna reopen Discord. Bear with me.
Okay.
Bum, 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 bum. This music makes me sad.
That might be the intended effect, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I figured. Just... This music's a real bummer for this asylum full of dead people that were probably suffering. Tan, can you hear us? Tanathy? Daniel? He's
Fuck. I can't hear anything. What's going on?
Penny Turner. This is just Tan's way of enforcing a moment of silence.
Maybe. I'm not gonna. Well, probably should edit this out, but I'm not gonna because I'm lazy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second.
I would pause the recording, but that doesn't seem to be an option anymore on OBS. You used to be able to like hit a pause button, but I don't see it. I guess I'll put a timestamp. So 1:24. Can you hear us now?
No. Sorry about that.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I was saying.
Yes, because I'm fucking answered you. Of course I can fucking hear you.
Okay. What did I do? I'm so confused.
It's like you said, "Can I hear you?" It's like, "Yeah," and you're like, "Well, can you hear?" I was like, "Yeah, I answered you."
Okay. Never mind. Do you?
That was so aggressive, Tan. What the
No,
fuck?
sorry. I just thought it was funny that you.
Tan having a Vasilii moment right now.
I'm sorry.
So mean,
I'm sorry.
guys. I'm abused.
Hold on. Hold on. Vasily is a bit aggressive one time, and suddenly it's Vasily.
Yeah, and now you're never gonna live it down.
I mean,
Okay,
it is
so-
kind of based and hilarious, but also fucked up to be like, you're the one who always fucks up, not me.
I mean, he's
When
not,
someone tries to comfort you over your fucked up father.
Hey, is he wrong? Bro?
Yes?
I'm so sorry your mom died of cancer. It's okay, you're the one who's always a mess. It's like, okay. All
By
right.
wrong, I mean factually.
I remember Chelsea had an entire thing about how like everyone here is fucked up.
Yeah.
Except for she pointed out Dante. Which was, by the way, very funny. I did appreciate that.
Hell yeah. We love Dante.
We're still waiting his tragic backstory flashback session.
So what I was saying, Tan, is rather than just like describing going into random rooms, do these rooms have plaques outside them that say shit like morgue or like etc., like labels, and do any of them stick out to us if so?
So a lot of these are unmarked sort of like storage facilities for what seems to be canisters of what seems to be ash, basically, when you have a look in them.
Ash?
Like ash. And you sort of get a slight response from your corpse sense here, so it seems like these are like cremated remains.
Oh, I can manipulate cremated remains.
Well, like the fragments of bone that survive and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can do like some weird dust storm shit. Maybe I could be like fucking Garo with people's cremated remains.
But once you reach the end of this hallway, you do find a bigger room.
This is like when the waterbenders discover bloodbending.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this one has a plaque outside saying primary and secondary subject.
I'd say we go inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so inside, basically on either side of the room is one of those sort of white cells, although these seem to be like sparsely decorated. Like on either side of the room, the glass windows into these white cells, but these ones have some slight furniture in terms of like a bed, some like children's toys, it seems, and the like on either side. One is smashed completely open from what seems to be inside, the other is just still intact. And you can see at the head of this room, like up some stairs, there are two giant like tubes. They're just sort of completely empty, like glass tubes with nothing in them, it seems. Maybe there was something once in them, but you couldn't tell. And on that desk, there's a desk before those test tubes, just like a disused sort of deep dispowered console of some kind, and a document sort of lying there, sort of half torn.
Is the other torn piece there? Like, can we stick them together?
Yeah, you can sort of put them together here.
Sure. What's it say? Do you mind popping us that linky?
Yes. I will say for best of us, one of you should like read this, basically.
Yeah.
I'll
read it.
Okay.
You want to read it, Dante?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Give me 1 second to get it for you. And here it is for Dante.
Sixth the day of the platypus, month of the Judicator, 9 years since origin. Interview conducted to investigate unusual behavior exhibited by the primary subject following the expiration of the secondary subject. Interview conducted by Dr. Hewell. Following the interview, primary subject was escorted back to the living quarters and tranquilized as per protocol. Statements made by primary subject still under investigation. Begin log.
That's what Lumberjack says when they start jumping.
Dr. Hewell, good morning, Genesis. How has your day been today? Are you feeling well, my boy? Primary subject does not respond. Dr. Hewell, don't worry, laughs. You're not in trouble. I just wanted to talk to you for a little while, if that's okay. Primary subject does not respond. Dr. Hewell, have I perhaps done something to offend you? If so, I must apologize. It wasn't my intention. Is this about what happened to the other one? Primary subject does not respond initially. Dr. Hewell remains for a time, or waits for a time. Primary subject, keep it dark. Dr. Hewell, yes, that's what we wanted to talk to you about. You've been saying this phrase quite a bit, haven't you? What does it mean? Is it related to all the manifestations we've been observing around the hospital? Pause. Primary subject, keep it dark. Dr. Hewell, yes, but what does that mean? Is it a spell, a chant or something, some sort of ability? If so, how did you acquire it? We've no records that your original source was capable of such things. How long have you been able to use these strange powers? Primary subject does not respond. Instead, he turns and looks directly at the camera. Note, this camera is hidden, and primary subject was not previously made aware of its location. Primary subject, Dante Drake. You're reading this right now, aren't you? Wait, what the fuck? Dr. Hewell, who is primary subject to lunges, interview forcibly terminated?
This
Oh no!
Genesis can see into the future.
Keep it dark? What are we keeping dark? Also, Genesis is the primary subject of this place. They made him.
Of
If
course
I had
he
to-
is!
If I had to guess, I'd assume it has something to do with the fact that these ghosts can't see through fire. I mean, keep it dark.
It's probably the name of a stand.
Oh yeah, because his ability had some weird shit to do with that. We still have the torch, right, Tan?
You do, but as you are sort of digesting this, you do hear some rumbling from far above.
Oh no, we gotta go!
Everyone, hop on the bike, and I project the little, dune buggy, or sidecar that Chelsea made a while back.
Tan, can I manipulate the, Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! That's good. I love when that works out like that. Can I manipulate the cremated ashes, Tan?
You can, yes.
I'm gonna bring as many of it with us as we can in, like, a big cloud around us. Because I have a feeling we'll need it.
Okay, so you're all getting on this bike and going down the hallway then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you zoom down this hallway, you're holding the torch to keep the ghosts away from you. The ashes like flowing behind you as you go. And as you're about to reach the end of the hallway back to that first chamber, there's a sudden crash, and your way down the hallway is blocked as a giant black fist smashes in through the roof, the ceiling, blocking your way. And you recognise
good.
this as the fist of the massive stand Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh, good.
Fuck. We still have UV flashlights on us, right?
You do.
I know...
Is this the vampire guy's stand?
Yes. I know...
This was the vampire lady,
I
yes.
know from experience, like we all know as stand users, that when a stand is hit by something, it affects the user too. So I try and flash my UV flashlight on the stand and see if it does anything.
There's no noticeable effects. But, however, what it does do, the fist sort of loosens and then rearranges itself. It's like a finger gun pointing down the hallway towards you guys.
Oh god. Does anyone?
It's probably because of the size of it. It's probably only really affecting a small part of her.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna, with the sort of storm of like ashes around me, I'm gonna try and in front of us form like a wall that is moving in front of us with us like a shield to try and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like bastion against whatever's coming at us.
I'm gonna use my headlights to double her shielding and like project another layer of it to help protect us.
Hell yeah.
And I will add a third layer of balls around our view.
Are we're just fucking the fucking what's the thing where two of us roll again?
Dual
I
heat.
did have a really
Heat.
dark
We're
idea.
doing a triple heat.
I did have a really dark idea that would be
Go
kind
ahead.
of
What?
hilarious but fucked up. So I know it's technically not how Vasili's power works because he devolves things, not reverts them. But we know he can do the like stick into a tree, yeah. If he used his power on all these ashes, would he just turn into like a swarm of bodies?
He could.
Just like
Again, I'm
it
pretty
would- it
sure
would-
after the first session we said that he couldn't do that because it was like
It would turn
fucking-
into ashes of less devolved things, I would actually say, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Never mind then. Yeah.
So wouldn't it be more
because we
devolved?
Yeah, more devolved.
because we said it was like too much like Crazy Diamond and not enough like what his stand actually did.
Indeed.
Well, I'd imagine that Blue Oyster Cult's about to try to turn us all into cardboard, so we do have about 3 layers of defense.
Yeah. Let's hope it works out for us.
I think for moral support, Vasilii will throw a rock.
Nice.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so the three of you are like combining your forces to make the shield, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so a triple heat action. We break the rules more and more every day, but I like it.
Well, we can just use like 2 stats of whoever has the better stats, but like narratively say it's all contributing. Or something.
It's going to be protect then, so speed and durability is what we need here.
I'll get the speed.
And that will be against the overkill of Blue Oyster Cult.
My durability is pretty good. It's 4. Do you have a better?
Yeah, mine.
Of course, I have a better speed. That's my thing.
No, I meant I was asking if Dune had a better durability.
Oh.
I don't. I have a 2d6.
All right, I'll roll the 4 if you roll your speed. Jack.
Yeah, I already rolled speed.
All right, I got 1 success. And he got 2, so 3 total.
2 for me.
Is there anything I can contribute to this roll, Tan?
Well, if you're doing triple, I would say with you durability as well.
I'll roll my 2d6.
Moral support roll. Or you could say it gives advantage too, if that's
Yeah,
easier.
look at it.
Well, like I said, I'm
Look at it
treating
like
this as a
this.
triple heat action, so all you working together on this, but never mind, it's...
Maybe advantage because it's cool. I don't know.
no.
She only got 2
Not
successes
cool.
somehow, so we did beat her.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to make this fuck off shield, and as the blast sort of blasts into it, you're kind of skidding down the hallway like on your feet a little bit, but the shield is enough to stop that blast from hitting you. And as you watch that shield you created doesn't disintegrate into cardboard, it seems to just collapse into snow.
Because we're like, so that we're driving by the hand now, like the hand will be on our side as we go past it.
Well, it's taking up the entire like middle of the hallway, it's blocking your path. the
Oh,
hand.
we literally can't get past it?
Yeah, that's why it punched through.
Oh, we punched, okay, hold on. So
No, the hand punched through the ceiling and came
I
here.
got you. And there's no way to like drive past it like by going on the wall or
No.
something? Okay. In that case...
Well, you can maybe like, it's making a finger so you can try and like get between the gap there if you wanted to like, need to speed it.
Well, I was gonna...
Well, when you say that, that makes me want to do it.
Yeah, because I was thinking you would like drive past it, and then as we're going past it, I could like, all the rest of us could slam it for like our attack, and then basically rather than all our normal individual turns, because this is kind of like a chase where we're all together, it would be like group attacks, group defends, and like we all fight as a unit, maybe.
All out attack.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. What do you think, Tan? I know it's a little wonky mechanically.
I like it.
Yeah. So like, you presumably Drive would roll to try and get past, and then we would all roll like an attack drive-by, and then presumably it's gonna keep trying to stomp us like a chase sequence in a video game.
Yeah.
I imagine it's pluck and speed, right?
Yes. That'll be against it's like it's now instead of a finger, it's like curly to try and like flick you basically. With its strike here, power and precision. So you're trying to beat its power and its precision here.
Do I get advantage?
Yeah, 'cause it's pretty cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Holy shit!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it flicks. It doesn't hit you. It flicks and hits like the ground before you, like creating this big barrier of dirt and rock for a second. So you're not hit at all, but you're prevented from like getting past it here.
Mm.
And what you do notice as well is from like the air pressure created from that, your little torch is blown out, and immediately you can feel this intense cold coming from behind you.
Oh, fuck. Whose turn is it in the initiative?
Unfortunately, if you turn your head, you do see the little girl with the horns now sort of walking down the hallway towards you again, with the hand on one side, like preparing another finger gun, and the girl on the other, like freezing everything as she's advancing towards you. There's only one thing that we can do.
Let's just end the session.
Fade to black.
Fuck. So keep it. When he was saying keep it dark in the logs, I just realized retroactively he wasn't giving like a hint to the researcher. That was him talking to Dante, trying to use his stand directly. Oh, that's so fucked up. That's so cool. Oh, chills.
That is really cool. That was a cool format screw, Tan.
Thank you.
I noticed the very SCP-ified log. We've looked at before.
Right. I don't think I've ever seen an article do that though. So.
Yeah, that was super fucking cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
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 But